Hello, hello. What is up, everyone? Let me make sure I'm live. Today, we are going to discuss the one simple shift that puts you in alignment with everything that you want to manifest. So, today should be a masterclass. We're going to talk about reality creation in a different way today. All right, what's up? What's up? All right, so I'm going to start off with a couple paragraphs that's really going to introduce what I want to talk about. And I want you to pay attention to these words. We're going to talk about this in the beginning. Then at the end of the lecture, I'm going to read it again and just hopefully you have a different perspective on it. All right. So everything that you see is you. The lover that stayed. Okay. Everything that you see is you. The lover who stayed, the one who left, the silence in your bank account and the overflow that once had you dancing in joy. The betrayals that broke you. What's up? What's up? The betrayals that broke you. The blessings that lifted you. The faces that passed you by without a glance. All of it are reflections. Whether your bank account is full or empty. Whether you are being betrayed or being loved. It's all you. It's all a miracle. It is all your creation. Hold on to that thought. Reality is not happening to you. It is blooming from you. It is not separate. It is a mirror, not of punishment or praise, but of the thoughts, beliefs, and identities you have held, often unconsciously within. But when you war against the image, trying to erase the heartbreak, edit the poverty, or force the reflection to smile, you become entangled in the illusion. You forget that it's an illusion when you try to go in and change reality. Okay? You begin to fight shadows, forgetting you are the light that casts them. And in that fight, you shrink to the size of the problem you resist. But if you step back in stillness, in wonder, and dare to love all of it, even the parts you once condemned, you begin to see the divine choreography. Each scene, each face, each failure was a brushstroke on the mirror, revealing not who you are, but who you have believed yourself to be. And here's the irony. Here's the irony. The moment you stop reacting, the moment you release the need to fix the reflection, you become fulfilled. Not because the world changed first, but because you remembered that you were never missing anything to begin with. And in that alignment, quiet, holy, unshakable, the mirror bends to meet you in truth. Not because you forced it, but because you finally became it. Right? I want y'all to think about the nature of reality. We talk about how reality is a mirror. Let's really break this down. Allow this to just marinate in your mind. Everything that you experience, the people that you experience, the car you drive, the place you live, the prosperity, the lack, all of it is a divine miracle from within you. You stand in the middle of a miracle just by breathing, being able to think, being able to pick up your phone and watch someone speak. You stand in the middle of a miracle, yet you still ask for signs from the divine, from something outside of you. And the moment that we become so entangled with this miracle of life, thinking that it is so real, and we start identifying with the things that we do not want, guess what? We shrink ourselves down to the size of that thing. So whether it's lack, and we go into that lack thinking, I have to change it, I have to force my way out of it. I have to react to it. The betrayal, I have to react to this. All right? What all these situations in our life do is they reflect a part of us. And by reflecting a part of us, they have a vibration. And so if this is something you don't want, it has a vibration. If you react in a way that says, I don't want this shit, you react in a negative way and you match its vibration, you get more of it, right? When we shrink down to the size of the problem, we become a match for the problem. But when you take a step back and you say, damn, everything is a miracle. It is just a miracle that I'm experiencing this life. It's a miracle that I was able to experience no money in the bank account. It's just a miracle right now. What I do is I remove myself from the drama. And just by looking at all things as a miracle, picture this, really think about this. When you look at all things as a miracle, you stop reacting to negative things, and automatically you are in alignment with what? Things that you want. This is the one simple shift that can change your life. If you begin to walk through your life and look at everything, the quote unquote positive, the quote unquote negative, as a miracle, all of a sudden you are in this state of gratitude, this state of fulfillment, this state of constantly being able to receive, and you are in alignment with the things you actually want. Instead of walking through life and reacting to the mirror, reacting to the things you don't want, and putting yourself as a match to those things, look at it all as a miracle, because it is. That person that came in your life and broke you down, it was a miracle. And it gave you more clarity on what you wanted. You created everything. There's nothing out there. It's all from within you. It's all from within you. The air you're breathing right now. Who created that? The same God that is within you. You created it. Or if you want to look at more tangible things, the relationship you have with your parents, you created it. The relationship you have with women in general, you've created it. The job that you have, you've created it. You create everything, what you like and don't like. It's all a reflection of you. It's all a miracle. The moment you begin to look at this with absolute gratitude, you begin to realize that you are in the middle of a miracle. You are in the middle of something that is so divine. It is damn near unexplainable. It is damn near unexplainable. And yet we still look for signs. All right? Once you realize that this is a miracle, you become in divine alignment with everything that you want. Hopefully, that flipped a switch in your mind. Hopefully. That puts you in a different perspective to walk through. It's not about becoming vibrationally in alignment and rejecting things and love it all, because it's all you. And by loving it all, you stop reacting negatively to things you don't prefer. And that puts you in a state where you can only get the things that you want. Bingo. Ta-da. We could end it there, but let's keep on. All right. So the mirror has no power. Becoming the creator through identity. All right. So the illusion of the mirror. We spend so much of our lives wiping the mirror, scrubbing the reflection, rearranging the shadows, doing the quote unquote shadow work, trying to reprogram the subconscious mind, because we think it's this big bad part of us that is holding us back from the reality that we desire. But that in itself is a limiting belief. The concept of healing before you are in alignment with what you want is a limiting belief. When does healing end? What is the definition of ending healing? Just by saying I have to heal, you are creating it. Thou shalt decree a thing and it shall be. By me stating I have to heal, to be in alignment, to be whole, I'm creating a situation where I'm going to find things to heal. And we all know once you start going down that path, guess what? You're going to find more and more and more and more and more things. Because this is the nature of reality. All right? This is the nature of reality. All right, I found that. To him who has, more will be given. To him who has, more will be given. Matthew 13, so you think this only pertains to good things? To him who has lack, more will be given. To him who has to go heal, more healing will be given. All right? To him who has not, even what he has will be taken away. All right, so we can look at that from both perspectives, right? If you have prosperity, you will be given more. If you have lack, you will be given more. Right? And then the end of this quote, the end of this scripture just says the exact same thing in reverse. To him who has not, even what he has will be taken away. If you don't have prosperity, if you can't give it to yourself, more of it's going to just be taken away from you. Huh? So let's really pay attention to how scripture is breaking things down for us. All right. So the wise knew the mirror has no power. The world you see is not a reality in itself. You are the reality. This world is not a reality. You are the reality. Your beliefs, your expectations, that is reality. This world is always changing. So when you get sucked into the drama and you're looking at these events that are already changing moment by moment, every moment you're in a completely new reality, but you latch on to one and you want to force it to change. What you're doing is you're making it stick. Detach yourself, right? Look at it all as a miracle. Enjoy. You are in the middle of a miracle. Your life is a miracle. Everything that you're experiencing is a miracle. Just the fact that you can have your heart broken is a miracle. Just the fact that you can have no money and then you know that you created this is a miracle. The moment you stop trying to cling to it and change it and realize that It's just one script. You're just in the middle of one movie. Just change the channel. And how do you change the channel? By reacting differently. You've been reacting negatively. You've been reacting like this is a curse for the last 20 years, and it hasn't left. Look at it as a blessing. Be grateful that this is the last time that you will experience lack in your life. Be grateful this is the last time that you will be taken advantage of in your life. Be grateful for every single moment that you have, and automatically, boom, that gratitude puts you in alignment with the things that you actually want. This is a miracle, okay? So the world you see is not a reality in itself, but a reflection of your internal state. The world is a mirror of the soul. So everything is just giving you an opportunity to confront yourself. So once I have a desire, the manifestation is done. It is instant. I have a desire. And the road to get to the fulfillment of that desire is automatically made perfect in front of me, and I walk down that path. Now, occasionally on that path, certain things pop up. And if I do not like them, it's because I have to ask myself the question. If I do not like them, I have to ask myself the question, what within me makes me feel negatively? What would I have to believe to feel negatively about this situation? Now, this is a opportunity for me to release that negative belief. This is still a miracle, but I prefer differently. So let me get clarity on what I actually want. Right? I don't want to experience this more. This is not what I want to experience in my reality anymore. It's still a miracle. And I'm grateful that I have the choice now to choose better. And then I walk down the path, and I'll see that as I confront these limiting beliefs, as I confront them, I can immediately change, and reality can immediately change to match me. So there are certain things, everything, you should just look at it as a reflection. It's literally just this divine mirror showing you what you're not in alignment with anymore, showing you who you are not going to be anymore. I experienced this negative situation because I was not remembering who I was correctly. But who I really am is attached to this other thing. So I'm going to actually walk in my divinity, okay? In mystical traditions, this is called Maya, the illusion, right? The word is called Maya, the illusion, a dream you walk through not realizing it is your own dreaming, okay? Why did the Most High create this reality? The Most High created this reality so that you could descend down here and you could look at all the other perspectives of you. Because the kingdom of God is within you. What is the kingdom of God? The kingdom of God is everything. Every single thing, every person, every item that you see, every circumstance, whether you want to call it negative or positive, it is all the kingdom of God. So the Most High created this linear experience so that it could walk through life and realize that it was the creator. And it chose you for this one experience. You chose yourself for this experience. So creation is already done. You just have the opportunity to choose with every waking moment, with every step that you take. When things show up in your life, it's the divine menu. We've talked about this concept before. That divine menu, where whatever shows up in front of you is saying, choose what you want next. Do you want to accept more of it or react on the same vibration of it? If you don't like it and you want more of it, react negatively. Boom, you'll get more. Order placed. If you don't like it and you react like, oh, it's still a miracle, this is just showing me another belief, a belief that I don't want to carry anymore. And now I get clarity on what I do want. Well, instead of this, I would prefer this. And I make my selection and I move forward, and reality continues to give me this menu. You walk down this divine path, okay? The more you try to fix the outer world, here we go. The more you try to fix the outer world without changing the self, the more you are like a man yelling at a photograph to smile. It is not the world that must change. It is the one who looks into it. You are creating your reality based on the story that you are telling when you are looking at everything. What is the story that you are telling about everything? This is consciousness. You can be unconscious. You can walk through life unconsciously. And you can allow other people to pull you into their stories. You can become a victim of everyone else, or you can take the controller back. You can actually step into the seat as the primary operator. And you can use your perspective and your self-talk and the story that you're telling about everything, all right, to work out in favor for you, right? Everything works out for me no matter what. No matter what I feel or believe or think, everything always works out for me. No matter what I see, no matter what I perceive, it all works out for me. This is your power. Okay? This is your power. All right. So the spiritual psychology of projection. All right. So Carl Jung said, and we all know this quote, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Every trigger, every resistance, every painful pattern that you see out there, quote unquote, out there, right? It's actually a projection of your inner dialogue. Once you master your inner speech, you can put down all other techniques, right? This is what Neville Goddard said. Once you master your inner speech, you no longer need to affirm because you are the affirmation. You live life as the affirmation. The way I walk in every situation, I make the affirmation of who I am. Based on how I see the situation, I don't give a damn what it looks like. It's all unfolding perfectly for me because the God within me is perfect. So this situation must be perfect. Okay? When you believe you are unworthy, the world will seem rejecting. When you carry guilt, you will see judgment. When you judge others, you are judging yourself because everyone is you pushed out. Whatever you ask in the Father's name will be given to you. Whatever you ask in the Father's name is I am. Whatever you declare yourself to be will be given to you. Because how do you declare who you are? You say, well, I am this, I am that. But also, everyone outside of you is just a projection of you. Every circumstance is a projection of you. So whatever you call anything out there, consciously or unconsciously, you are making a prayer. And guess what? Whatever you ask in the Father's name will be given to you. So whether you say it is not working out or it is, guess what? That will be given to you. Whether you say this is divine timing or not, that will be given to you. Whether you say this is a miracle or not, that will be given to you. Reality bends to my will or not, that will be given to you. It is all you. There's nothing out there. There's nothing out there to change. It is just showing you who you are. Life is your report card. You're walking through your report card. You're experiencing yourself every day, every minute. You are powerful. Your story, you are constantly telling the story of what you are going to experience. Every word you're casting a spell. Every thought you're casting a spell. Every intention, every belief, you are casting a spell and you are walking through life to confront yourself. Every moment you're confronting yourself. It's you versus you. It's never you versus anyone else. There's no one out there, y'all. That person that broke you down, you're confronting yourself. That empty bank account, you're confronting yourself. The people that just seem to judge you, that's you judging yourself. You are confronting yourself. That you caring too much about other people's opinions, you are confronting yourself. It's all you. There is no one out there, y'all. Okay? There are no idle words. Everything that you speak, right? You are creating reality with your thoughts, with your words, with your intentions, with your beliefs. You are creating reality and you are stepping into that reality at every moment. Start using reality to create the life that you want. That's its purpose. This is why you are God experiencing this reality in a linear way so that you can experience who you are and you have the power to change it. Everything, you have the power to change everything, but you can only do it by changing yourself. All right, this is not philosophy, it is law. The outer is the echo of the inner. The world is not happening to you, it is happening through you. It is happening for you, it is happening by you. Everything is happening for you, through you, with you. All right? You are co-creating with God. God is everything, and because God is everything, you are just selecting what you want to experience next with your perspective. You are focusing that God power on what you want moment after moment. All right. So the identity shift, desire is sacred, but desire without identity becomes yearning, frustration, and delay. When I'm too involved in the simulation, right? And I shrink to the size of the circumstance. Instead of understanding it's all a miracle. Right? It's all a miracle. The empty bank account is a miracle. The betrayal is a miracle. But I shrink to the circumstance. I latch on to something I don't like. Because that's how we're programmed as humans, is to latch on to the things that we don't like. Be realistic, they say. Meaning be negative. All right. So we latch on to the shit that we don't like, and we react negatively. Because it's a situation I don't like, I react negatively. So now I am locking on. I'm a vibrational match for that situation. And guess what? I have to get more. But the moment I take a step back and I say it is all a miracle, I'm grateful for it all. It's the moment that as things unfold, even if they are quote unquote negative, and I look at it with love, and I say, no, it's still a miracle. It's not my preference. It's still a miracle. It's just giving me clarity on what I want. And I make that declaration right there in that moment. The moment I ask them is the moment that I receive. And then I walk with faith, and that situation immediately fades away. It can't latch on to me because we're not magnetized to each other. We're not a match to each other anymore. This is the key secret. Treat your life as the miracle that it is. Look at everything with wonder. Be like the child. Be like children to enter the kingdom of heaven. It is all divine. You are in the middle of a miracle, breathing this air, watching leaves fall from trees, watching trees just sprout up from the ground for no reason. We are speaking this language of gibberish together, and we are understanding each other. It's all a miracle. All of it. That you were able to create the life circumstance that you're in is a miracle. To understand that everybody is just me pushed out, that is a miracle. Look at it all that way, and let everything be added unto you. Seek ye first the kingdom, and everything will be added unto you. Okay? So you cannot have what you are not being. This is why many who beg for love never receive it. Why those who chase abundance keep finding lack. They speak from the identity of the one who does not have. This is not cruelty, it is just energetic truth. To him who has, more will be given. To him who has not, even what he has will be taken away. If you looked at life as a miracle, guess what you would receive in your life? Nothing but miracles. Nothing but miracles. This is the story where Peter, I think it was some disciples, multiple disciples and Peter, were in the water with Jesus, and they were fishing. They were fishing. And Peter was like, look, man, I'm tired of this. I'm ready to go. And Jesus was like, no. Cast your net. Go deeper. Cast your net on the right side. And then they were able to catch the fish. What does this mean? Cast your net on the right side. What does the right side represent? Right? It represents your imagination. Right? Go deeper into your imagination. Go deeper into your wonder. Begin to look at the world in awe. Look at the world as the beautiful creation that it is, and allow those miracles to unfold in your life. So we're taking a completely different approach today. Hopefully this is hitting different, right? Because we have to find a different way to say the same thing, all right? So embodiment over attachment. The ego says, if I get it, then I will be it. If I get it, then I will be it. The soul knows if I become it, it must come to me. If I become the one that only sees miracles, guess what? It must come to me. This is what Jesus was trying to tell y'all and trying to show you. This is what he was trying to show us, right? If he walked through life looking at everything as a miracle, guess what? You can do miracles in your life. Okay? Whether you believe the story is real or not. All right. Do not seek the thing. Become the one who already lives in it. Detach from needing it, not by apathy, but by embodiment. Understand that you're already in the miracle. It's already being created for you. You don't have to fake confidence. You return to your divine nature. You just look at the world with awe and wonder. That's all the confidence that you need, right? When this clicks, it just clicks. It's all me. This is the one realization that you have to have. It's all me. It's all a miracle. How the hell is this all happening? It's beyond my words. It's beyond what I can explain. It's too beautiful to break it down to someone who's unaware, to someone who's unconscious. All right? Explain the miracle of life. All right? To someone who's not there yet. It's very difficult to do. right? We have to be like children. We look at the world with awe, and we allow all these things to be added unto us, right? Because the kingdom is everything. The kingdom of God, seek ye first the kingdom. What is the kingdom? It's everything. Every person, every situation, everything. And when you start to look at it with awe as what it is, now you can receive all the things that you want. Okay? Do not seek the thing. Become the one who already lives in it. Detach from needing it, not by apathy, but by embodiment. All right. So the Gnostics taught that the Christ within is the source of creation. Not the historical figure, but the divine blueprint hidden in the soul of every man and woman. All right, so one of the quotes from Gospel of Thomas: the kingdom is inside of you and it is outside of you. When you come to know yourselves, then you will become known. When you come to know yourself as what? As God, then you will be known as God. This is why Jesus was constantly preaching to make that declaration of who you are. This is why Scripture constantly says that. Right? Whatever you ask in the Father's name, thou shalt decree a thing and it shall be. It's constantly telling you to seek who you are. Seek first the kingdom. Seek first your divine nature. The story of the prodigal son. Come back to the Christ within you, to the God within you. Recognize yourself as divine. Right? It's inside of you and outside of you. When you come to know yourselves, then you will become known. All right? When you do not know yourself and you're stuck in the world and you're constantly reacting to these things and seeing them as bigger than they are, you're not seeing them for what they really are, just a projection of you. Well, they're hard to change. You're stuck in the drama. And it's always the negative things in our life that get us stuck, right? Those are the things that you want to react negatively to. Those are the things that you want to latch on to and try to change. And reality is changing in every moment. Allow it to fade away. Look at it as the miracle that it is. And it's just showing you that you would prefer something else. Accept what you would prefer as the truth, as what you're walking through or to, and then just continue to walk with faith to that destination. Okay? So when you shift identity, you shift vibration. When you shift vibration, the mirror shifts, not by force, but by resonance. You walk through life as if it's a miracle. You can't even resonate. You're not a vibrational match of anything that you don't want anymore. If you start looking at everything as a miracle, you cannot react in a way that keeps those things around that you do not want. You only become a match for the things that you want. Okay? So identity scripting, writing the inner dialogue. Where are the I am statements that loop within you? Okay, what are they? What are the I am statements, or what are the statements that you say about yourself? What are the things that you, or the stories that you tell about others that loop within you? Okay, maybe it's something like you're not ready, or you don't deserve something, or something is too difficult to do, like making money, or all people are like this, men or women. What are those statements that loop in your mind that you need to begin to dismantle? Look at the miracle that they've created. Think about how your assertion that all men or all women are the same way, look at how it has created a loop in your life. That is a miracle in itself. When you start to just look at that with wonder, like, oh my God, I created that. Now you can easily shift away from it. You don't have to react anymore. And when someone that shows up in match to that old identity, you can look at them and say, this is who I used to be, but it's not who I am anymore. Right? I don't choose to go down this path anymore. And I know there are better people out there, and that's what I choose. And then that situation fades away and it's replaced with something new. Think of things that are opposite of what you want. Think of those things showing up as the world just giving you an opportunity to prove that you are who you say you are. Are you really someone who wants what you say you do? Are you really someone who lives by the identity that you claim to have? Okay. So these thoughts are not just thoughts. They are instructions to the mirror. Whatever you're identifying yourself as or identifying other people as, you're giving instructions on reality. You're creating laws. You're creating reality. So be mindful of how you are creating, of the laws that you're creating. Okay? Begin to script a new story, not from delusion, but from spiritual truth. I am the embodiment of divine abundance. You are God. God is within you. How could you be anything else? The only reason that you have lack in your life is because you identify with it, because you don't see that you are the creator of it, because you try to force your way to think differently. You try to control your mind so hard towards, oh, I'm prosperity, I'm prosperity, I'm prosperity. But your body just feels lack. Look at it as the miracle that it is. Accept it. Understand that you created it. You're not changing it. You're just choosing a new version of you to step into. And then that reality has to melt away. Okay? I am already the one I'm becoming. There's no one to become. You're God. How could you need to become something? How can you learn to become what you already are? Strip away that programming. You are God. You are gods and goddesses. How could you strive to become something that you already are? Just by striving to try to become something, you're subconsciously saying that you're not that, but you are. You could never be anything less, and it doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter, whether you want to believe that you are God or not, you are. It doesn't matter if it's difficult to accept or not, you are. It doesn't matter if you feel sad today, if you've been disciplined today, it doesn't matter. You are worthy and you are God because you breathe air, because you woke up this morning. You are divinity. Okay? So these are not just thoughts. Okay, I already read that. I am aligned with the creator within me. Okay? These are not affirmations. They are declarations of remembrance. The mirror will obey. Part 6. When you become it, the world must reflect it. The mirror does not lie. It simply reflects. It does not lie. It does not cheat. It does not steal. It simply reflects who you're being. It's simply your report card. It's simply showing you that you are everything. This is waking up, is realizing that I've never been a victim. I've always been the divine creator, and everything is showing me my creation. This is God coming to understand himself as God. This is you coming to understand yourself as God, is waking up. Waking up and realizing that, shit, I'm suffering from my own creation. Why would I do that? All I have to do is align with who I really am. And who I really am doesn't suffer. Who I really am could never experience lack because they're infinite abundance, infinite consciousness, infinite love, infinite worthiness. So everything that I'm stepping in is just one possibility out of infinity. And so all I have to do is focus on what I actually want, accept it as true, and continue to walk through life understanding that it's all a miracle and it's all unfolding for me. That's it. This is the goal of consciousness. You are consciousness. The goal of consciousness is to be conscious of itself. Well, it's to be conscious of something, really. Let's put it like that. The goal of consciousness is to be conscious. And because there's nothing out there for you to be conscious of, because trying to be conscious with the mirror is insanity, because it's all just coming from you. The only thing for you to be conscious of is who you are being. You don't latch on and become conscious of, oh, I don't have enough money in the bank account. You become conscious of who am I being that represents that money in the bank account. Am I being someone who understands that the Christ within me, that the God within me is infinite abundance? Okay. Well, then I step into that version of myself and I allow all the bullshit to melt away. Huh? The mirror does not lie, it simply reflects. The illusion is thinking the mirror has a will of its own. It's thinking that these people outside of you have a will of their own. They have free will, but in their own reality. So the best example that I can give is if you sit down and you speak to somebody, right? Y'all could have the same conversation. You could be in the same place, but you could remember things completely differently because y'all are in completely different realities. If we walk up together, right? We're sitting in the same room and there's a candle right here. Got a candle right here, right? We could both look at the candle and we could see two completely different candles because we are in two completely different realities. So we did a whole discussion on free will and even the question of, can two people manifest the same person? Well, the answer is absolutely yes. You can, because there's infinite versions of everybody. So they can have what they want and so can you. All right? But if you want to check out that discussion, that was from yesterday. So that one was kind of nuanced, right? But the illusion is thinking the mirror has a will of its own. Right? All that you see, success, struggle, rejection, miracles, is a divine echo of your state of being. When you heal the self, you heal the world. It was a bar. When you heal yourself, you heal the world. And when I'm talking about healing, I'm not talking about sitting in therapy and digging through all your past traumas and rewire your subconscious mind. I'm talking about healing in the sense of understanding that you are the miracle, you are God, and looking at the world through the eyes of divinity. And when you do this, you heal the entire world. You get better versions of everything. You get better versions of your bank account, better versions of your job, better versions of your boss, better versions of the women and men that you entangle with. Right? You get better versions of your parents. You get better versions of everything. Better versions of service at restaurants. All of it. Because you decide to heal yourself, meaning you decide to step in the divinity of who you really are. You begin to look at yourself as the miracle that your divine ass is. You feel me? So you were never meant to chase reflections. You were meant to wake up as the light, casting them. You were meant to wake up as the light, casting them. That's all reality is, right? It's light being reflected and we're seeing things. And when they say that what you're seeing is the past, it's actually absolutely true. Because what actually happens is you have a light that is shot from the sun, right? The light is cast from the sun. You already know it takes a while to get here. Then it goes in your eyes, it goes to your brain, right? We have a collective consciousness that is determining what we see, and we all agree on what we want to see, what things look like. And then that image is cast to the front of our eyes, and then we see it. This is a process. So what you're seeing isn't even in real time. Okay? And then if you want to look at it from a spiritual perspective, what you're actually experiencing and walking through is a delayed reaction from who you are being, who you have been in previous present moments. Okay? Because every moment is just a picture. It's a picture in a frame. Okay? And so moment by moment, you're getting a new reflection of reality based on who you were being. So you can change your reality immediately by being someone different, by being the person who only sees miracles. I only see miracles. Okay? So to end this, we got 4 reflection questions. Number 1, what am I trying to fix in the mirror that must be shifted within? Okay, are you trying to force someone to change? Trying to force something to change? What are you trying to fix in the mirror that must be shifted within? Number 2, what are the unconscious I am scripts that keep recreating old realities? Look at your life. Look at things that happen over and over again as synchronicities. The same way that you see 333-222, 555-888, and get on Google and research what they mean. If something happens to you more than once, or if something triggers you at all, look at this as a synchronicity. Universe speaks in numbers and patterns and signs. This is a sign. Why do I keep getting triggered by the same conversation that I have with every woman that I deal with? Or every man does the same thing and it triggers me. What does that mean? This is your soul screaming at you. Pay attention. Do you want more or less? How do you react to it? What is the story that you're telling about that thing? What is your expectation about that thing? Did you expect it to happen? Because if you did, do you identify as someone who that happens to? Because if you did, you got beliefs to work on. And as you look at these things as miracles, you say, damn, I created that. So I can change it easily. It's not what I want anymore. I pick something new. Boom, those situations just fade away like dust. All right? Stop identifying as the person who gets cheated on. Stop that. You don't like that. Stop identifying as the person that gets ghosted. But understand that you are the one who has created that reality. And that's a miracle in itself. So you can change it at any moment. Any moment. You could change anyone in your reality at any moment. But look at them for what they are. Just a miracle. Just a product of your own mind, of your creation. And then choose differently. Okay? Number 2 is what are the unconscious I am scripts that keep recreating old realities? So what are some of the other stories that you're telling to, what are some of the stories that, sorry, I just got a message. What I need to turn the notifications off when I'm on live. What are some of the stories that you continuously tell yourself that are recreating old realities? If you're having the same situations pop up in your life over and over and over again, it's trying to tell you a message. Look at the things that repeat as synchronicities. Now, take a step back. Once you see things repeat, say, okay, damn, what would I have to believe for this to repeat? Especially if I don't like it. And then start working backwards. All right, how can I choose differently? Well, it's still a miracle that I was able to create this. Damn, that's divine. Damn, I'm divine. Now I choose differently. And I accept that what I choose now is the truth, and I walk forward. And anything that is not in alignment with that, I just see it as a miracle and I reject it. And now I see that by looking at everything as a miracle, I'm not even in alignment with the things that I don't want anymore. So they all just fade away. Just by me not reacting negatively to the bullshit. Okay? Number 3, if I truly believed I was already one with my desire, how would I walk, speak, and create? Well, you would walk, speak, and create like everything that you experience is a miracle. You would walk around with the expectation that everything that you want is coming to you. Everything that you want is already here. You are just walking the path to get it. And then number 4, where have I mistaken reflection for reality? Where are you thinking that reality's solid? Maybe it's your bank. Maybe it is the type of woman that you deal with. Maybe it is the type of men that you constantly attract. Where have you mistaken this reflection for actual reality? If you find yourself making these bitter statements, generalizing groups of people, all men are like this, all women are like this, it's a clear sign. It's time to wake up. You are mistaking the reflection for reality. You are the reality. The reflection is just a reflection. All right, so we're going to read that beginning paragraph one more time, and hopefully it hits differently after we had this conversation. Okay? Everything that you see is you. The lover who stayed and the one who left. The silence in your bank account and the overflow that once had you dancing in joy. The betrayals that broke you. The blessings that lifted you. The faces that passed you by without a glance. All of it reflections. Reality is not happening to you. It is blooming from you. It is not separate. It is a mirror, not of punishment or praise. It's not punishment or praise. It is just of thoughts, beliefs, and identities that you have held, often unconsciously within. But thank God that those thoughts and beliefs can confront me so I can change them. What a miracle, right? But when you war against the image, trying to erase the heartbreak, edit the poverty, or force the reflection to smile, you become entangled in the illusion. You begin to fight shadows, forgetting you are the light that casts them. And in that fight, you shrink to the size of the problem you resist, right? What do they say? Resistance is whatever. You begin to fight shadows, forgetting you are the light that casts them. What you resist persists. And in that fight, you shrink to the size of the problem that you resist. But if you step back in stillness, in wonder, and dare to love all of it, even the parts you once condemned, you begin to see the divine choreography. Each scene, each face, each failure was a brushstroke on the mirror, revealing not who you are, but who you have believed yourself to be. And here is the irony. The moment you stop reacting, the moment you release the need to fix the reflection, you become fulfilled. Not because the world changed first, but because you remembered that you were never missing anything to begin with. And in that alignment, quiet, holy, and unshakable, the mirror begins to bend to meet you in truth. Not because you forced it, but because you finally became it. Just the act of looking at everything as a miracle puts you in alignment for everything that you want. Everything that you want. Everything that you want. Okay? That's a good question, brother. That's a great question. All right, is daydreaming as being in frequency? Okay, is daydreaming as being in frequency of the end goal desire too delusional? Or what makes our subconscious and nervous system suppress it wrongly? So, all right, let's break this down to you. So the only thing that gets you to what you want is the conviction that it's coming. Here's the truth. when it comes to affirming and visualizing and all those things, the power behind them is you. It's your conviction. What the affirming and daydreaming really is, it's you making a choice and declaring to the universe, declaring to the God within you that I'm gonna slow down. I try to give you a quick answer. Let's break this down. All right. God is within you, right? You are God. So everything that you desire is God desiring these things through you. Meaning you have to look at your desires as promises, as the promised land. Okay, this is the metaphor of the Israelites being led out of Egypt to the promised land. This is the metaphor of the Virgin Mary having the immaculate conception. Right? It's that God comes to you and you need no man to impregnate you with the desire. The desire you have is a promise. It is sacred. Some people want to be doctors. Some want to be lawyers. Some want to be astronauts. Some want to be millionaires. Some want to live in seclusion where nobody else is around them. Your desires are what make you you. It is how God tells you what God wants to experience through you in this reality. And so the moment that you ask, because God is you, is the moment that you receive the answer. And the answer is always yes. Now, when we talk about things like nervous system suppression, nervous system regulation, or subconscious reprogramming, these are all things that you are decreeing. So like scripture says, thou shalt decree a thing and it shall be. Meaning, if I say I've been doing all these techniques, but they're not working, I haven't seen any change, guess what I'm decreeing? I'm decreeing that even though I'm doing these techniques, I'm not seeing change. So reality has to bend to my will. It has to bend to whatever I decree. If I'm saying, damn, I don't know if I'm doing this right, do I have to regulate my nervous system? You are making a decree. You're saying, I don't know if I'm doing this right. So reality is going to show you that you don't know if you're doing this right. The only thing that you need is conviction. It is to walk around knowing yourself to be God. You can daydream, but you want to daydream from the perspective that you are all there is. Okay? You want to affirm, but you want to affirm from the perspective that you are all that is. All these human things that we put on, all these conditions, we have to regulate the nervous system. You have to program some mysterious subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind, it accepts everything. There's no reprogramming needed. The truth is, what are you accepting as true? Are you accepting that you are a divine being and that your reality is a miracle in itself and everything that you see is a miracle? Well, then you will know that you create everything. If you can start studying your life and you see, oh, these are all products of my belief, and then you can step into that childlike wonder and look at life and say, damn, I'm really creating this. And I don't judge anything as good or bad anymore. I know my desires are coming and I walk through life with that faith. That's really all you need. If you want the proof that you're on the right path for everything to unfold, you have to make the choice that you're on the right path. And honestly, no one can tell you how to make that choice. So I get it, right? Like other people and a lot of these spiritual teachers, they'll tell you, you have to regulate this and affirm this and do this every night. And those are all techniques, but they're all techniques that if you understand that you are God, if you understand that your inner speech creates reality, and you can just stay conscious through the day knowing that you are God and everything is unfolding for you, that's really all you need. The nervous system regulation, sure, it's nice. But what more nervous system regulation do you need than knowing that you are divine and this life is a miracle and walking through it? Whatever you see is a product of you, and it's just giving you an opportunity to choose what you want and don't want anymore. Right? That's the most nervous system regulation that you really need right there, man. And so even that part of, is it too delusional? No, it's not. Let's think about delusion, right? Because what do you think about when somebody says, be realistic? You all of a sudden start thinking of the worst case scenario. So you start being delusionally negative. We're just saying, point that in the opposite direction. There is no such thing as delusion. Your thoughts are what's creating reality. The past isn't real. The past is just a thought. How are you remembering yourself? Do you just remember the bad things, or do you see things the way that you want to see them? This is why even scripture says, forgive others so your Father in heaven can forgive you. All right? But if you do not forgive others, your Father in heaven can't forgive you. This doesn't mean forgive and forget. This means see people doing the shit that you want them to do. Because if you see them in a way that you want them to be, now they have to reflect that to you, because thou shalt decree a thing and it shall be. Right? Whatever you declare reality to be, that is what reality is. The truth is, when we really get down to it, reality is really meaningless. What you see is meaningless. It's only what you give meaning to. If you looked at everything and started declaring it's all working out for me, this is just another sign, boom. It is. Because you are the one making the rules. All right? You are the one making those rules. Right, for sure. Everything that's anything started with delusion. It started with delusion on both sides, right? The things that you don't want started with delusion. The things that you do want started with delusion. Somebody made this microphone. I was just like, microphone? What is that? You sound delusional, but here it is. The airplane sounded delusional as hell, but here it is. The car, delusional than a mug, but here it is. Putting a boat on water, deep sea diving, everything that you want was once called delusional, whether it's positive or negative, right? Live in your delusion, man. Look at your delusion as God trying to reveal to you who you really are. The world has been programming you, right? It has been programming you to think quote unquote realistically. It's been programming you to think that you have to work to earn the worthiness of God, but you are God. God is within you. How could you be worthy? How could you work to be worthy of something that you already are? Forget the programming, man. The programming tells you have to tithe, you have to do this, and you have to get baptized, and then you have to go to the corporate job and you have to work for the title, and you have to earn this approval, and then if you go to school, you have to earn the good grade. The world is always putting you in this constant mindset of earning, and then we think, oh, we have to be worthy for our desires. And we're like, worthy of our desires, let me work for that. But just by trying to work to be worthy, we are actually, just by working to be worthy, we're actually communicating that we're not worthy. So the main goal, the trick, is to strip yourself of that desiring to be quote unquote worthy, and just know that you are. Right? Worthiness is a knowing. It's not a feeling. You're worthy no matter what you're doing. You're always worthy. Facts. Be still and know that I am God. Right? Divinity is in the stillness. This is when we are in that Sabbath. Right? That stillness of sitting there and knowing that God is working. Knowing that you are God. Knowing that God and I are the same, but my Father does the work. Right? What is your Father? Your imagination, the God within you, all that there is, because the kingdom is within you. It is already working to fulfill everything. Can you sit in the stillness of knowing that you are God? Right? This is the ultimate divinity. This is faith. This is faith, doing that inner work, granting yourself these things and sitting in the stillness, knowing that it will be done. There's always something to do, but there's nothing that you need to do. You do things out of fulfillment. You don't do things trying to manipulate the world. You do things because you're feeling fulfillment in the moment and you want to do those things. And then they become the divine path that you walk down to get to the fulfillment of your desires. Right? Or not to get to them, but to reveal, because you already have them. The path is already laid out for you to experience the thing that you want. You are just walking to reveal it to yourself. And through that revealing, through that walk, you're actually being confronted with other things that you can change. So it's always this journey of you meet yourself in every present moment. Right now, you're meeting yourself. You're experiencing your creation. Everything that you sit in right now is your creation. And now everything that you sit in right now is your creation. So you're always confronting yourself. You're always confronting the report card, right? Advice on how to initiate fear of being seen, being authentic, being true self. My honest advice, man, is you don't know until you know, right? Like, there's nothing, it's gonna sound corny, there's really nothing to it but to do it, bro. Once you actually start doing it, the path gets revealed once you start. So if you want to start speaking, man, if you want to create content, the path will be revealed when you start. Once you start walking down that path, you're going to start producing things. And you're going to realize, okay, this is good, this isn't. Right? And now you can start tailoring your content as such. Okay? And then you're always going to have some kind of fear. The fear of being seen is normal, but that's just you, right? It's just something within you. The fear of other people judging, that's just you judging yourself. Right? So as you go down this path, you realize, okay, these things come up. Are you going to keep going, or are you going to let them stop you? And so you just get better over time. I still look at videos that I posted like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, ugh, damn. Right? So you still just always getting better. But the goal really is, if you can help one person, right, you change the world, man. If you can help one person avoid certain pitfalls that you've went through, man, that's gold right there. Because we all walk through this life and we bump our head. If somebody can help you bump your head one less time, a few less times, right, that is gold in itself. So that is the satisfaction that you get. You know, you have a calling for this. You have a desire to do it. What is that? That is God desiring that through you. Now, you are the one who has to initiate. You just take the step, and God fills in the blanks, right? You just take the next step, then the next step, then the next step, and all things are added unto you. All right, so the only thing really to do is to do it. You'll get more comfortable as you go. I mean, I remember the first videos I made, especially on Instagram, like I have a cool following now, but man, when I was at like a couple hundred followers, now, like the only comments I got were negative things. Like, what the hell are you talking about, right? But you just push through that, knowing that, all right, you're gonna have three types of people. You're gonna have people that just don't care, that are indifferent. That's cool, that's fine, right? You're gonna have people that just don't resonate with it at all. That's cool, that's fine. And then you're gonna have people that you do help. And that's really your target, right? Just who can you help? Everyone else, does it really matter? No, maybe you spark a seed in somebody and they come later. Or maybe you just spark a conversation because somebody just doesn't agree with you. And now you have an opportunity to sharpen your skills, to get colder at what you're saying. Shoot, it's all divine, man. It's all divine. Just walk down the path, right? Fear is not real. It's something to confront. It's something that sharpens you. It's something that awakens you. It's something that just makes you colder, makes you better. But to avoid things because we have fear, I mean, how many things would we avoid? First time that I got on my motorcycle, I was gonna go on the freeway. I was like, shit. Okay. But the fear sharpens you. Right? The first time you speak in public, all these things. The first time I went live, right? Even though there were like 2 people on. One of them was my sister. Right? It was still nerve-wracking, but it is what it is. Okay, it is what it is. Facts, man. Surrender to the knowing. It's a gem right there. That's an absolute gem. Surrender to that knowing. And, you know, I will get that question oftentimes. Okay, how do you know? Do you just know? That's the conviction that we talk about. No one can tell you how to know. You just know that you know. No one can tell you how to believe. No one can tell you just how to surrender. No one can tell you how to walk down that path, right? You just know. It is your conviction. It's your declaration. It's you're the one who makes the choice. It's your choice. It is always your choice. All right, but I'm gonna end this one. Here because I got to jump off. I was supposed to be off a little bit earlier. But man, I appreciate y'all's time today. Hopefully this clicked in a different way. I know this is a different approach than how we've typically talked. But hopefully this clicked. Of course, if you want the document, it'll be on YouTube. All the discussions we have are always on the YouTube channel. The link is in the bio. You can go to the link. You can check that out. If y'all want coaching, there's a Calendly link in the bio. I have certain packages as well that you can sign up for. Whether you want to talk about anything, relationships, manifesting, spirituality in general. You want to talk about masculinity, femininity, all those things, worldly things, spiritual things. We discuss it all. Okay, but I have all those options. So I'll end this with a couple affirmations, leave y'all with some affirmations, speak the divine into you, then I will let y'all go, okay? Appreciate you. All right, I see you all as divine, as prosperous, as worthy, as perfect, as in alignment with everything that you want. Continue to walk through life knowing that it is a miracle. Your birth was a miracle. That your father entered your mother and boom, your soul came down here. It's a miracle in itself. That you're able to walk through life and experience divinity. Experience the quote unquote positives and the quote unquote negatives. This is a miracle. And when you begin to take a step back and look at it all as a miracle, you stop being influenced by the drama. You stop getting pulled into the quote unquote negative things. You just see it for what it is. It's an opportunity to choose differently. And just by looking at it as a miracle, you're not even in a vibrational match to have it anymore. And so now it must fade away and be replaced by something that is more divine and more in alignment with you. You are infinite abundance. The God within you can be nothing but abundant. You are always worthy. The God within you could be nothing but worthy. You are infinite love. The God within you could be nothing but love. And you can have whatever you want. You can have the relationship you want, the car you want, the house you want, the money you want. Your bank account can look however you want. You can live in the city that you want. You can have all those things. But seek ye first the kingdom, and all things will be added unto you. All right? Seek ye first the God that is within you. Know yourself as God. And then decree things from that perspective and allow everything to be added onto you divinely, because you deserve nothing less. Anything that you see that's not in alignment to what you want, you are remembering yourself incorrectly. And that's why you feel negatively. Remember yourself correctly. Use that situation to get clarity on what you really want. You don't want the empty bank account. You want the money. You want to swipe your card and close your eyes because you don't give a damn how much it costs, right? That is infinite abundance. You deserve that. Claim it, walk towards it, and tolerate nothing less. Okay? Y'all have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful afternoon. Please DM me if y'all have questions. But until next time, y'all stay the beautiful gods, the beautiful goddesses that y'all are. Stay prosperous, stay divine. Peace. Appreciate y'all.